Goaltending is the hardest position in all of sport. You have to be able to skate. It's physically demanding. You have to be able to be tough. Your cardio has to be spectacular. Your flexibility has to be spectacular. They've got to be more mentally tough because every mistake that they make is posted on the scoreboard. I mean, it really is a difficult position. I can't even fathom how difficult it would be to play with any disability.
It may sound absurd, but don't be naive. Even heroes have the right to bleed. I may be disturbed, but won't you concede? Even heroes have the right to dream, and it's not easy to be me. Up and away, away from me. Now it's alright. You can all sleep sound tonight. I'm not crazy or anything. It's not easy to be me.
Starting in goal for Providence, number 57, Jordan Sigalet.
Well, obviously when you're a little kid, your main goal is to make it to the NHL, but once you start playing, sometimes you don't think that far ahead. You think, you know, I want to play junior hockey, and that happens. Everything seems to fall into place, and from there I land a scholarship. At that point, when I got that scholarship, I was to the point where, you know what, if I don't go anywhere else in hockey, I've had my education paid for, I have something to fall back on. And
goaltender has one across, big save by Jordan Sigalet.
Kind of one thing led to another, being drafted and being signed by Boston. And when I was drafted, their plans for me was they wanted me to go to college, play my 4 years and develop there, and then they decided they'd do it with me after. Usually goalies develop a bit later. They wanted me to get that experience and that ice time at college. This is scary, me in the kitchen. I used to always eat out usually before I pre-game meal, but thought I wouldn't be lazy this year and try and cook, so I just made a huge batch of meat sauce. The minimum pay in the American Hockey League is $35,000 a year, so worst case you're making $35,000 a year. Depends what kind of contract you're on. If you're on a one-way contract, that means you make whatever you make in the NHL down here too. There's three-way contracts where you make a different amount in the NHL, AHL, or East Coast Hockey League. Or then there's a two-way where you make an amount in the NHL and an amount in the American League. And that's what I'm on, is a two-way. I mean, to play a game that you love and making a living by doing it, you can't really complain. Now be careful with my numb hands so I don't burn them. Sometimes I'll notice it on one side more than the other, and I mean sometimes it'll be in my back and my chest, but for some reason it always comes and goes in those places and just stays in my hands. It's just on the front sides of the hands, which is strange. It's not so much on the back at all. It's almost like when you're little and you're playing with the Elmer's glue and you get a little layer on your hands, you know, and just don't have the full sensation in there. So it's definitely strange. This is probably gross for lots of people. Cheese whiz, I'm so good. I'll never forget just sitting in the doctor's office and hearing the words, Jordan, things don't look good. The next words out of his mouth are, you have multiple sclerosis. There's usually wolves. This fence, there's wolves behind there, and there tops, there's bears.
Hey Lindsay, you're not wearing your high heels today to go up.
Can you take a look at the top? Yeah, it's pretty fun. You don't really know what you've got in store till you get in there, and then you get part way up and you think, oh, what did I do this for?
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on board the Grouse Mountain Super Skyride. We just left our valley station. This trip's going to take us approximately 8 minutes to get to the top of Grouse Mountain today. Once we get up there, we'll be at 3,700 feet or 1,100 meters above the city of Vancouver. Please watch your step on the way out and have a wonderful day up Grouse Mountain.
1, 2, go!
First thing we thought he had a tumor, right? That's what he thought too. I thought he had a brain tumor. That day we heard, I drove Jen to Seattle so that we could get a quick flight, and she flew right down. I said, "You got to get your buns out of here." There's so much research being done in Canada, and that's why I want to keep fueling it. That's the key, getting that awareness. We're up here.
You can't get up there. You gotta come down here. Okay. Are you stuck? Where do we go? Just down one level?
I don't know. I've been all over the place.
I'll find you.
You stay there, we'll find you.
Well, that's not something you come out and say you got MS, and then all of a sudden you think, oh no, it's not that, it's something else. I didn't want to think that he had it right away. I wanted to come back and research it all and get him checked out some more.
You just want to make sure.
This is a T cell. A T cell is a white blood cell that lives in our body. This guy is part of our immune system. He fights viruses and keeps us from getting sick. We have lots of them. In MS, some T cells tend to go a little crazy and start causing more harm than good. These autoreactive cells start attacking our brain and spinal cord. No one really knows why this happens. The trigger may be in our genes, a virus, or even something else in our environment. With a few little tricks, T cells can wiggle out of our bloodstream and get into our brain and spinal cord, where they can cause major trouble. In our brain and spine, nerve cells are everywhere, and we use them for almost everything. Walking the dog, eating dinner, playing soccer. We constantly use our nerve cells to send signals from our brain to our body. This is the myelin sheath. Myelin wraps around the nerve cells, neurons, to allow messages to travel to and from your brain super fast. That's important when some nerve cells are several feet long. Once the autoreactive T cell recognizes that myelin is near, all havoc breaks loose. Kicking the soccer ball becomes more difficult. We become exhausted. This is an MS attack.
But the neat part about it was the coaches, of course, knew. The whole team knew the fall. And they all said nothing. They didn't want anything said until he was ready, and that was, December, when he had another bout of the flu, so he decided to come. Everybody was saying, all the fans, Sigalet's got another flu. He had little days that are bad, they're tired, or things will go on, and he'll just fight through it.
How was it?
It's pretty tough.
Hey, Jordan. Woohoo! Where are the refs?
It's fun, huh? Good job.
Good cardio.
Oh yeah, especially in the heat. It's worth it once you get to the top though. Halfway you always think, why the heck am I doing this? Well, you guys are back there somewhere, so I think they'll either be coming up on the gondola or there'll be another hour or so. Stayed with them at the start, but it's got to be.
I think I'm going to sneak over in the winter and do it a few times. The first 5 hours later. Marv grew up in Langley. I'm from Newfoundland.
How'd you guys meet then?
Marv's story of
They're
life
from
is
one
totally
side of Canada.
Oh wait, how you met? You have two different stories how you met.
Hey, Lindsay, you gotta run the last 20 yards.
Javelin!
It's my birthday on Monday. Any big plans? No, try and forget about it. Getting old.
Oh yeah. How old are you gonna be?
26.
Oh.
It's not a good age, it does nothing for me. 25, I could rent a car. 26, nothing. After being diagnosed, I mean, I had to make the decision about getting on medication, and because there is no cure out there, I had to get on something that would slow the progression down, and that's when I decided on the Rebiff. Yeah, this is the actual needle here, and this is the auto injector, so basically just load it up. Frick is that? There's a different one out there for everybody, but that one's been working for me, and I'll stay on that as long as it's working for me. I've been almost symptom-free since being diagnosed. I'll get minor things, maybe minor numbness here and there, but nothing that's kept me from playing. Little things I have to do now on the ice, you probably notice, is just pouring cold water down my back and just keeping my body temperature down. So at first I didn't know that, so my body temperature would get really high and that would bring on some symptoms, because heat's a major factor in the onset of some attacks in MS. For me, coming out of college, there was some new rules instated by the NHL, so I was only allowed to sign for a one-year deal, my first contract, and then after that one I signed another year, so I'm on my second contract now. They could sign me for more than a year if they wanted to, but maybe one of the reasons is being my health, just to see how I'm feeling and playing. Every year there's another training camp, there's rookie camp and main camp. It's a pretty grueling process. I mean, you're on the ice 2-3 times a day and scrimmaging with NHL guys and some of the best guys in the NHL, so it's not easy, it's a lot of pressure, but I mean, that's what you live for and train for every summer, to go into camp and try and prove yourself.
Is that what you did all week? I mean, these kind of same drills?
We've been mixing in some shots, so don't want to forget what a puck is. Get a few more later, but this is what pays off in the end. It's hard work, but it pays off coming around training camp.
I want to see the transition, push your limits, just outside your comfort zone. Now you're going to push with your right, you're going to take a shuffle to your left, and you're going to make a left half butterfly. We're adding the save selection. Same thing. Get him down, Make sure you recover compact and come back to the middle before you do it again. Fast as you can make that save. Ready? Go. Goaltending is like playing a pinball machine, but you have someone standing right next to you, and every 3 seconds, they're bumping you and hitting you like you're getting hit with a puck. But you have to have the ability to still follow the ball or the puck and still play the game. If you can't skate, you can't play a goal. You have to have the best agility, you have to have the best balance, and if you're not able to move your body around in control, you're not going to have much success being a goalie. Work, work!
Actually, Jordan brought me here 3 years ago. We were roommates and teammates in college at Bowling Green. I decided to follow him down here for that first summer, and I've been coming ever since.
Keep moving, keep moving. Stay square, DG.
He fine-tunes everything, fixes everything.
Come on, come on. Push hard, stop hard.
It's been a great night. This has been unbelievable. It's been 10 times better than whatever I've been to, so it's been great. He really pushes you to do hard. I mean, like, Econ as a former goalie knows that, you know, you'll push yourself. If you're not going to push yourself, you need someone else to do it.
Go! Some water. Straight down, Siggy.
I'm really excited to be back. He's a great guy, and his skating helps you so much. In games, goalies don't realize how good of a skater you have to be. Skating is definitely the main focus, but you obviously have to work on other things as a goalie, such as stopping the puck.
I mean, they're skating all over the place, and the puck can be released at any time. You have to be ready. You have to be moving around. And they're passing the puck between 5 players. And you don't see the puck half the time because you're screened and there's so much chaos going on. I mean, it really is a difficult position. If you don't have a goalie, good luck winning a hockey game. Good luck winning a championship.
It's a very hard position because people are very hard on you if you lose, and you don't get all the credit sometimes if you win.
You have to have amnesia. You really, I mean, if they score on you, forget about it. That's really difficult to do. I mean, think about that. You give it up and people booing you, or yelling at you, or banging on the glass. It's hard to shake off. It really is. I can't even fathom how difficult it would be to play with any disability, to play with MS. I mean, I can't even fathom it. I mean, it would be ridiculous.
Both our goalies on our team quit, so then we needed somebody to play, so I played ever since.
I was a forward, and then I played it once at a tournament when I was younger, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and it was perfect for my older brother who had someone to shoot on, so it was nice. It worked out for everybody.
Honestly, when I used to play roller hockey when I was little, that's what I always played. So we had a high school hockey team, and I figured I'd try out, and I got goaltender pads, and I went out, and it's just what I started playing. So it's kind of worked out that way.
I loved playing it when we played street hockey and indoor hockey, and I loved watching the goalies on TV. And ever since then, I kind of got hooked on it, and I still love it today.
The equipment. Honestly, that's why I love the equipment. When I was a little kid, and I always thought it looked cool, so I tried it out and I just loved it. So stuck with it ever since.
Being my first year last year going to camp, I didn't really expect to walk in there and have a job in Boston. I expected to come down here to Providence and get the experience.
It was between him and one other guy who was going to be our goaltender, and he won the job to be here in Providence.
I got him. Man on.
Usually 2 goalies on a team. Sometimes that's dictated by injuries, if there's an extra guy on the ice. In the case this year, Hanno Toivonen was up in Boston who was coming down to play some games to get himself back into the mix because he hadn't been playing a lot up in Boston. I usually try to let the guys know the day before the game, in 2-game brackets. You're going to play Friday and you're going to play Saturday, and with the 3 games in 3 nights, you try to use both guys so that you're not in a situation where one guy's playing 3 games in 3 nights with travel, and it makes it a little bit tougher.
My name is Phil Sauvé. I'm a goaltender for the Providence Bruins. To tell you the truth, I wish I could tell you how that works and who is playing every week, but that's why we have coaches. They tell us who will be playing, Friday or Saturday. I guess it depends on who's playing well and who matches up against certain teams.
Well, it certainly helps your cause if you're playing well. Who's going to play in that. Maybe it's a little bit different because I was a former goaltender. There's things that I'm looking at that maybe most coaches aren't looking at. They just might have one guy that they go with. I like to have both guys playing and being sharp. When neither goaltender's playing well, that maybe when I have do it by committee.
There's 2 goaltenders in a team, so it's very competitive. I wouldn't say rivalry, I'd say healthy competition. I get along great with Jordan here, but there always is a certain level of competition. You want that net and you want to be the one playing. So, obviously we encourage each other and we work on things together in practice and stuff like that. We discuss a lot about our job, but there is no doubt there that there is a competition.
We are here in our division, Atlantic Division. We play the same few teams, a lot of Hartford, a lot of Springfield, a lot of Lowell. It makes for pretty good rivalry and some intense games. It's fun here down the stretch.
Yeah, we have 26 games left now, so every point matters right now. And first place to last place is only separated by about 12 points, so that's why every win's important right now, especially against conference rivals.
Number 56, Jordan Sigalet.
shot in front, save made by Sigalet. Turns to the shot, stick aside by Sigalet. By Sigalet.
Fans, here are tonight's 3 stars of the game. Tonight's number 3 star from your Providence Bruins, Jordan Sigalet.
Pretty much every game's a playoff game now. Every team's just a couple points away from each other. To get the 2 points is really huge to stay ahead of Hartford there, and Hartford's a team we play tomorrow and Sunday, so it's really key to get that win tonight. Jonathan's been wearing 56 his whole life since he played minor hockey and junior hockey, and when I was at Bowling Green and they were recruiting him, when Jonathan committed, he asked if he could wear 56, and they pretty much would do anything to get him to go there, so they agreed. And in college hockey, you stand next to each other in number order during the national anthem, so I wanted to be next to him every time the national anthem was sang, and so I chose 57, and we've just kind of stuck with it from there on out.
His strength is his positioning, angles. He very rarely beats himself. He's a very low maintenance guy. Like you know, he's not a guy that you look at him and you watch him play and you say, geez, he doesn't do this well, and you know, this is a weakness, and this is something he has to get better at. For him, it's all about playing and playing well all the time, and getting the consistency where you can say, you know, he's truly a #1 goaltender, and he's one of the best in the league. And now he moves forward with the opportunity, hopefully, with somebody in the NHL giving him that chance.
Yeah, the first goal was really unfortunate. It was a shot coming from the point, and I just kind of saw it all the way, and I was going to make the save. Unlucky bounce off our defenseman's leg and just squeaked through my legs. So you're not going to get bounces every night. And the second goal that came down turned into about a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2, and made the first save and just whacked away at it till it got by me. So it's good to get the win, though.
There's good goalies in the American Hockey League, but you have to be the best in the American Hockey League. You can't just be the best on your team. You have to be the best in the league. And those are the players that usually have success in the National Hockey League. You're up against some high odds when you're trying to make an NHL team. And the only thing that Jordan needs to do to play in the National Hockey League is just to consistently be one of the best goaltenders in the league.
Yeah, I was sitting at home last week after our practice in Providence, and phone rings, and it was our head coach, and he just said, "Siggy, you're going up to Boston," and you know, it gets the heart racing a little bit, and I mean, you wait for that call all the time. Now to actually be in Boston and get that little taste of it, just lets you know what the experience is like and what you have to do and how hard you have to work to get here full time. Yeah, it's a step up everywhere you go. I mean, going from college to the American Hockey League up to the NHL, guys in practices just shoot that much better, and it's that much more intense. So, I mean, sometimes you don't get a lot of chances, so you got to take that opportunity and kind of run with it when you get it.
Had a good game, but I imagine you left disappointed about the shootout because you've got a pretty good record in shootouts, obviously.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I won my last eight in a row last year. There's so many things that make the position tough. It's rewarding in so many ways too, but you know, the pressure of one little mistake, and that mistake always costs you. I mean, as a forward or a D, you can make about 5 to 10 mistakes a game, and it might not cost your team, and depending on how glaring they are. But as a goalie, you can just make a little mistake, it's in the net. 2 reasons. It was right during the time of the 1980 Olympics, and Jim Craig became my little hero when I was younger. Or he wasn't a little hero. He became a hero to me, and then it sounds kind of funny and kind of something I wouldn't want my son to do, I guess. But I was complaining to the coach about our goalie, and I complained enough that he said, "If you think you can do better, you get in there." And I went in and never came out. They're different in many ways, but they're usually considered kind of different guys. Although I think, knowing Jordan, me and him are two of the most normal goalies around.
Yeah, the future's kind of dark, I guess. You don't really know to the end of the season. Every time you sign a one-year contract, it's kind of up in the air at the end of the year. So you want to impress everyone here in Boston, and if they don't want you back, you hope that someone else caught someone else's attention out there and they take a chance on you. Yeah, it's been pretty good. I think pretty much under control, still taking the medications, the 3 injections a week. And I mean, I've still had my days where I might be a little more tired than usual, but just like anyone has their bad days, you got to battle through it. It's just like having the flu or being sick. Just got to get your extra rest and get through those days, and I've been able to do that, so it's been great. Yeah, actually just signed my contract last week, so hasn't been announced anywhere yet, but I mean, everyone knows, and looking forward to going back to camp. It starts September 13th. So.
That's with the Bruins again?
Yep, signed with Boston and go to Boston's camp, and slotted to be in Providence, but just work hard and see what happens. It says I'm from New West and play in Burnaby.
He was only born in New West. He's a Surrey boy.
It's easier just to say I'm from Vancouver too. People know what that is. It's a district.
Yeah.
It's like
Surrey.
a county.
The Surrey is the district, but Cloverdale is like a
sub-district.
Little municipality.
Yeah.
No, it's not municipality.
It'd be like a county in the U.S.
Yeah.
Right on the left on 176 is Cloverdale Ice Arena. There's a big mural painted on the side of it. That's where I played all my minor hockey. It was my junior year of college, probably just a couple weeks left in the season, and we just played 2 games against Northern Michigan, and I played both games, and they were pretty tiring games, and I'd say in a normal game I'd probably lose about 8 to 10 pounds, just water weight. So I just run down after the game and went home, went to bed. The next morning I woke up and just had a numb right foot. I remember going on the ice that day and just didn't feel right at all. If I dragged my foot on the ice, it kind of had that vibration in it that didn't feel right. Just a foreign feeling in my foot. And, I went to bed that night and I woke up the next morning and it was completely from the chest down. I didn't get feeling back in my body for a few months, and it's never come back in my hands fully. So that took some adjusting and getting used to. It's almost to the point now where if they were normal, it'd probably take some getting used to again. I'm just used to having pins and needles in my hands. As a goalie, people think that's probably hard to play. And I actually played 2 weeks after being diagnosed, still completely numb from the neck down, which was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And just crazy being out there and not really being able to feel your body and feel the puck. So, I mean, doctors said I may not be able to play again, and to be out there 2 weeks after being diagnosed was a big accomplishment for me right there.
I can't even stand up. Feels like my skates have never been sharpened. I have no edges at all. I'm already tired. You would be that guy, Pelt. Oh, offside in the charity game. I'll be lucky sometimes. He's just being nice to me. Fuck you, Pelt. Hey, Pelt, there's no MVP. How did you miss that one? Oh, that was good. That was unreal. I have 0 skate blades left. Hey, their last one count as 2 or what? Hey! No way. Oh, I'm exhausted from the last couple of days. They already put up 2 for their last one. Really 7-3. Cheating. If that was in play, you would have run me if there was Alaska or something. Here I'm trying to be a nice guy and then he bats it in. Garbage. 10 seconds. End to end. Get rid of your 2 mystery goals and it's a win. We won. Yeah, doing a shootout too here. Yeah, how many?
Right
3?
Yeah, 5 guys.
5.
Just any 5 guys? Yeah, we'll do 5. You do 5.
Hey, was Bogdanich's goal so nice that it counted as 2 goals or what? I didn't let that in either. Now reacher. Suck on that. Game over. Gonna get a team picture. What? Ow, fuck.
See the goals again, it's like a beating, eh?
Old school.
They're not afraid to throw mystery goals in up there.
Yeah. At one time, each goal is worth 6.
Yeah, no. Every time they're scoring, it's going up 2.
Look through the viewfinder.
Oh, God. No, it didn't.
Do I need to show you how to use that?
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How are you? Thanks for coming.
See, we're supporting.
Yeah, it's good. I like that. Sorry about the smell. It was fun. Nice defensive battle, huh?
Creative scoring on
Yeah.
scoreboard work.
Yeah, I know. Every goal, 2 are going up there, 6. I'm getting rattled in a charity game.
We all went to high school with Jordan. He's been a good friend for years, and we're all here to support him.
Me and Jordan actually played hockey together. We grew up together, and I've had some great memories.
We live down the street from each other, just someone you can always talk to, so we want to be able to here to support him as well.
Well, I've played with him the last 2 years in Providence, so that's how I know him. We've all played with him.
Jeremy Reach.
Nate Thompson.
Pascal Peltier.
Jeff Bogan. Ben Walter.
It's a great thing to, support, and he's a great guy, obviously, with everything that's gone on with him, and a very close friend. I mean, just as far as playing the last 2 years, we all been, come really close to him, and no other great thing to come out here and have a good time and support the thing. He had the PlayStation 3, and he's got a lot of the real brand new toys. He's got everything. Yeah, I guess if anything quirky about him and kind of nerdy, I guess. But there you go. That's the thing right there.
Okay, we want to get the food going because the quicker we move on with the food and the speeches, the quicker we can party.
Jordan Sigalet.
I don't know how I got here.
Is down in his net.
Memories down in fear.
Sigalet is face first on the ice.
Brilliant flashes of lightning.
Didn't look as though there was any contact whatsoever.
Descending into the night.
And the building has gone quiet.
The fight within me. The fight within me.
I had 1 full practice since coming back.
I don't know how I got here.
Jordan Sigalet
or which way I'm gonna steer.
Was diagnosed back in 2004 with multiple sclerosis, but here has just hit the ice face first, and they're bringing out a stretcher.
The last thing I remember before collapsing was there was a fight about 3 minutes before I collapsed, and that was the last thing I remembered in the game.
Within me, the fight within me, the fight within me, the fight within me.
It's kind of a blur to me, I guess, from hearing things from other people. The play was down on the other end, and I had just collapsed and was in the crease. I know I was out cold. I was probably out cold for a few minutes just from the impact of my head hitting the ice and my legs giving out.
This building has gone very, very quiet. What once was very loud in a 5-2 Bruins lead with Sigalet in net and performing very well.
I will rise up and stand. Take a step and be strong.
This is my first start since Tuca left. It was frustrating that this happened at the time it did, because the plan was for me to play a lot of games. And the last thing I remember was waking up in our training room and having all my equipment cut off and jersey cut off, and that was a scary moment. When I woke up in the hospital after the game, I had no feeling or movement from the waist down, and couldn't feel touch or anything like that, hot or cold, any kind of sensation. So it's pretty scary, but that's something I dealt with before with the sensation, so I wasn't too worried about that. But not being able to move my legs was pretty scary, and From there, I got transferred to a rehab facility and got me walking again and out of a wheelchair and eventually into a walker, and from there into a cane, and eventually walking on my own. I didn't know what to do with myself. That's why once my legs started getting some movement, I just got the itch to do something. So. They were bringing in my skates and stick, and I was walking in my skates and a walker. At first it was basically like being paralyzed from the waist down, so I couldn't even move anything, and then slowly my toes moved, and then legs started kind of moving, but it was probably 3 weeks before I stood straight up. I was more worried about getting the strength back and walking, and obviously skating. You get lesions in your brain and spinal cord, and sometimes you get new lesions, sometimes your old ones flare up a little bit, and if you do overheat or get too tired or dehydrated, some of your old lesions can really flare up. And I do have a couple in my back, and the theory is that a couple flared up in my back and just caused my legs to give out, and that's what caused me to collapse. Well, the positive thing is, I mean, I get my MRI every 6 months of my brain and my spine to see if I have any new lesions, and the thing is I don't have any new ones, which is really good. I'm sure it'll have an impact, and it's always in the back of people's mind. I mean, anything you read now, it's Jordan with MS. It's never just Jordan Sigalet, so it kind of sticks with you. And it's hard for some people to see past, but there are people out there that aren't worried about it. This summer I'll have to negotiate with either Boston or another team. It's the first year that I'll be a free agent, so I'll get to negotiate with every team out there rather than just Boston. So it's kind of exciting, but kind of hard at the same time just because of all that's happened. So hopefully someone's willing to take a chance on me still. When I'm done playing hockey, I'd love to stay involved in sports somehow. I don't know whether it'd be coaching or my degrees in computer animation, and I always wanted to be involved in creating like the sports video games and staying involved that way. So as far as coaching, I think that's something I want to pursue. It's just when I'm done playing, it's something I'd have to go after and talk to some people that maybe I made connections with along the way, and just love to stay involved with hockey somehow. So not sure how yet.
Just gotta come around wide to the back door in for the passo. Yeah. Just get you reading it. My oldest skating, it's the skating lessons at Winsport.
Oh, okay.
Can't skate at all, but
he can or you can?
I can't.
It's always cliche when you hear, you know, live each day at a time, live it to its fullest, but no, I've totally taken on that mindset, and I love my job, I love what I do, I love to, you know, try and help other people achieve their goals as I was trying to achieve mine when I was younger. I think the MS diagnosis made me a stronger person, and it's just given me a different outlook on life.